What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Johnny Depp's newest statements, talking about cancel culture. Really, I like these answers. I try to pick out, when celebrities do actually, speak up against this stuff, or they just speak like normal common sense, which seems to be lacking in the world, but also mainly Hollywood that we see. So when you have people like Daniel Craig talking about certain things, and you have Johnny Depp saying this stuff, obviously, I feel like it's very important. Obviously, I'm going to try to support the guy as much as I can just because of, the stuff that I've done before. So he gave some really good answers. He honestly said, much like Daniel Craig said, he just says stuff that the everyday person has been saying for a very long time. A lot of the stuff Johnny Depp has said in this little interview, I've said numerous times. Other people have said numerous times. And so let's read through what he did say. He said, "It's so far out of hand now that I can promise you no one is safe. Not one of you. No one out that door. No one is safe. It takes one sentence and there's no more ground. The carpet has been pulled. It's not just me that this has happened to. It's happened to a lot of people. This type of thing has happened to women, men. Sadly, at a certain point, they begin to think it's normal or that it's them when it's not." This was he was getting like an award that was getting some controversy again, probably from like the losers out there that don't actually like support or like buy anything, pay any kind of money. They're just the keyboard warriors, as I like to call them. He said, "I haven't done anything. I just make movies," which I think is a great answer. I don't know if he said this here or, in the same kind of, I guess, talk that he had or somewhere else, but he said Hollywood is certainly not what it was. The studio system, the grudge matches, the pandemonium and chaos of cinematic releases to streaming. It is a case of no matter what, I'm going to get mine. That's where these people are coming from. They realize they're just as disposable as I am, some more so," he continued. Large corporations take control of these things, and as someone who takes part in the creation of cinema, how much more formula do we need from the likes of studios? How much more condescending do we need as audiences? I think that Hollywood has grotesquely underestimated the audiences. He was also asked about Jack Sparrow, where he responded that the character would never leave him and that no one would ever take the character away from him. Depp then delivered an impromptu Jack Sparrow rendition on the stage. I have to watch that, so I haven't actually watched that. I read that part, on my own. I just kind of wanted to put it out there. Firstly, I love that. I love how much he cares about that character. I really, really love that. I also did not read to myself the part I had said right before when they talk about Hollywood being disposable. He gets it. He gets it. He said some stuff in the past that I don't necessarily agree with. He's done some stuff, obviously. And as I've always said, with Johnny Depp, he's not a perfect guy. I'm not saying everything he's done, he's just such an amazing human being. And even the stuff with Amber Heard, the approach I've always taken on it is like, I think that they both have probably done some pretty bad stuff. I guess where I just stand on it, though, is I don't think they should be canceled for it. I don't think they should have their entire lives. Either of them. The only reason I'm so hard on Amber Heard is because it's just flat out unfair what's happened. And also you have the lying and the fact that she openly admitted that she did stuff and she just kind of gets away with it. So like there's more to it. There's always more to it, even in the stuff that I say, than what people, casually type in the comments. I mean, that's kind of where I stand on it. But I like his answers. And even though he was very much like the part of the Hollywood machine, it really seems like maybe he got it back then. I don't fully know, but he definitely, from what he's saying, I think he absolutely gets it now, right? I think he's kind of hinting at, you have these, and we've heard this story before, right? Hollywood really just ruins itself. I mean, there are a lot of talented people that work there. There's a lot of talented people that make movies and television, but you either have agendas or just things that the higher ups feel like you should change and alter. More recently, it's been politics. It's been like identity politics even, right? But even like you go back throughout history, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, and what you constantly see is just meddling with people's visions. I mean, obviously, even like Josh Whedon, swapping Zack Snyder, or like the Ayer cut, like how much stuff they changed. I mean, you see it recently. You can go back 15, 20, 30 years, and you just always see these decisions. One of my favorite franchises is Scream. Pretty much every single one of those movies, except maybe the first one, was altered like majorly from the original vision because the Weinsteins wanted something else. So you always are having these people literally just, and then because they know better, even though they aren't actually the talents that works on this stuff, they know better and they ruin it. So that's something very powerful. But then also his main statement, or the first statement, was the reason why I wanted to make this video. I mean, he says it. that. Now, you could say, well, he's like, I mean, it was done to him, so of course he's going to realize it. That is true, and it's hopeful, at least I'm hopeful, that other people see this stuff or other people realize this stuff and wake up before it happens to them or before they do it to other people. I'm not, I guess I'll just say it flat out. The whole, like, it's not cancel culture, it's consequence culture is one of the stupidest things I've ever seen in my life. I'm not really one, and I say this in a lot of videos, I'm not one to tell you what to think. I'm not one to, like, demand that you have to think the same way or you have to do what I do. I'm not that at all. And you can go, I have like 4,000 videos on the channel that you can go for evidence on that. But I will say for things like this, that is the stupidest statement I've ever heard. These things, sure, some of them are bad, some of them are worse than others. Should they ruin somebody's lives? No. And I would even say that for somebody that does stuff that I disagree with, or people that I don't like that then also do stupid stuff. Like when you have people like Jimmy Kimmel, when these people do really stupid stuff, even though I don't like them in the first place, right? When they do stupid stuff, let's say Jimmy Kimmel, he's done certain stuff with his face before, and yet he's he always picks on everybody else. Then it happens to him. Even for somebody like that, I don't want him to get canceled for that. I think it's a stupid thing, but like, should his life be ruined? No. So I mean, it goes both ways, and I think actually what Johnny Depp says really well here too is, this is something that affects everybody. It's not just men. Actually, women can get caught up in this. And I think what he was also hinting at towards the end of it, he said in the beginning, like, nobody's safe. Nobody's safe. And we've said that before too. Nobody is safe from this. I always say it comes for everybody, because that's literally how this stuff works. People that say it's consequence culture, they don't get it. They will get it. I promise you. They will get it over time, because things just will continue to get. Here's literally how it works, okay, for anybody that doesn't know. What this consequence culture, or cancel culture, which is what it really is when you don't have the same mainly political idea, but it also can stretch out, obviously, something like Johnny Depp, right? Something like this, which, yes, if him and Amber Heard did bad stuff physically, say, to each other when married, that is very bad. However, this is not a case that winds them up in prison, okay? This is not like the end of their lives if they win or lose these cases. All it is that they did bad things to each other. Should that make it so that they can never work again? That's not a consequence of your behavior. And what happens to forgiveness? What happens to being able to redeem? Like, does anybody like redemption stories? In fact, a lot of movies are completely based off of the idea of redemption. You eliminate that entire, and again, like, yeah, you could say Johnny Depp, oh, Alex, you're such a Pirates fan, Jack Sparrow, that's why you defend him. But it goes for, I've defended Gina Carano. I can defend anybody. I mean, that's literally how it works. Like, are we not allowed to grow as people and get better? And then what happens is you continue to pick, you find smaller things, and you make a bigger deal out of those. So, like, when you think you're safe, then you just go back further. So something you did maybe when you were, obviously people are finding like texts and just things that people did when they're like 18 and they're like 35, and obviously that's going to ruin their life now. And then, but even if you didn't do something at 18, say you did something at 12, right? You kicked the dog, but you did that at age of 6. Well, now all of a sudden, now you're a horrible person. You should get canceled. Now this, and I know it sounds crazy, but I guarantee you, in fact, I don't even guarantee, that's just how these things go. It's how we have seen it go. These things spread. It's how it goes. And again, nobody's safe. Even the people that participate, and that's why I hate to participate in cancel culture, you know what I mean? Because ultimately, when you do participate in it, eventually it comes for you. That's always the funniest thing to me that I like to laugh at, is when people get other people canceled or try to get somebody else off the internet when it happens to them, and they scream bloody murder. They scream, oh, I have freedom of speech, or, I like, it's something that I've grown up from, or, I've moved away from, and it's okay for them, but it's not okay for others. Or maybe that excuse doesn't even work, and they just completely get destroyed. You know what I mean? That's what happens. It literally comes for everybody. I've been thinking about it over, like, actually, since I read this article. I read it last night, and I'm recording it today. Since then, I've literally been thinking about it, and it's like, drop all of the semantics, drop all of, like, the controversy and all of this, like, outside thought and talk, okay? You and me. Does it make sense that somebody who, let's even just give him the worst of what people, somebody who has done stuff, and I won't say it just because of YouTube, right? Say he actually did that stuff to Amber Heard, okay? If he truly, like, apologizes and, like, repents, even going a more, like, religious route with it, you know what I mean? And which is not a bad thing. If he truly is sorry and he's truly committed to growing from it, he will never do it again. Like, does he not deserve a path? Like, you don't give it to him immediately, but does he not deserve a path back? Does he deserve to be kicked out completely of Hollywood, lose all of his jobs, okay? Jack Sparrow, Grindelwald, lose all his jobs, lose all of his money because you're not getting paid if you're not, working, right? Does anybody deserve that? And also, then you add to it, maybe he didn't actually do that stuff. She definitely did stuff to him. So at the very least, it was probably equal. So either, again, as I've always said with this situation, you either punish both of them equally, which I really don't. That's always the first thing I say, but actually the thing I want to happen the least. If they both did it equally, they're both bad people when they're with each other. To each other, they're bad people. You could discipline them each severely, equally. I don't really, support that, but you could, which they didn't. Or you just leave them alone. It happened in their personal life. They grow from it, or I guess they don't, and you go from there. You make the movies, because ultimately, when you're an actor, your entire job is to lie and pretend you're somebody you're not anyway. So why does it matter? Now I'm not saying like you can just you can rob a bank and then just hide behind being an actor, like because you're obviously like pretending. No, you know what I mean? But again, like this is not a thing people commonly forget. This is not something that winds anybody up in jail. Nobody's going to jail over this. This is simply a matter of money, of tabloids online. It's not, oh, she hit him or he hit her, one of you is now going to jail based off of who's right. That's never been what it is. And so if that's not what it is, why does their lives deserve to be completely destroyed because of it? It makes no sense when you think about it like that. So that's where I stand. It's a joke. Johnny Depp gets it. It sucks that this had to probably happen to him for him to understand it, but at least now he gets it. And this, again, it needs to reach more people. It needs to reach people before they get caught up in it or before they do it to somebody else. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Make sure, as always, you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on. This is a more risky video for me to make, so I always do say this, but I'm going to push it a little bit more here. It is more risky. They don't always even get monetized, so if you guys want to support us through Patreon or YouTube memberships, allowing me to do many more of these videos, links are in the description. The join button is next to the subscribe button. That's how you support for YouTube memberships. We also have Twitter, and we also have a second YouTube channel. Those links are in the description too, okay? Thank you for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it, and I hope to see you all on the next video.